What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor Show, and Atlas. Go ahead and check them out in the description to this video. So for today, we've got a Midwest risk. That's really hard to say, Midwest risk. But yes, Chicago, you guys are in that. We're going to talk a little bit about what things are looking like for Milwaukee all the way down to Indianapolis for today, as well as a little bit of a risk in Colorado. So I'm going to jump into that as well. Then tomorrow, that's all going to shift off to the north and east through New England. So, we could get some storms through the upper parts of the U.S. into tomorrow, hail and wind all possible there. And then looking into this heat, looking into the drought conditions, I'm sure most of the country is probably wondering when those are going to get out of our way so we can make room for some much needed rain and some cooler temperatures. So we're going to talk a little bit about what the rest of our week looks like in terms of that, as well as some tropical outlooks. But first, before we get into all of our weather, going into our upcoming events. The first of those is going to be the Florida Roofing and Sheet Metal Expo. This is going to be in Daytona Beach on July 19th through the 22nd. So if you guys are looking for a reason to get out to Florida, take you a little beach vacation, come and see us at the Florida Roofing and Sheet Metal Expo. And you can access everything through that link, floridaroof.com. Then after that, we are going to be at the Riva, the Roofing Machine. This is going to be at Rosen Center Hotel, also in Orlando, Florida. So we'll be down in the Florida part, Florida, for the next few days here. So it's on July 27th. So again, if you're looking for a reason to get out there, or if you're already in the Orlando area, come out and say hello to us. This is the Riva, the Roofing Machine. So for yesterday, a lot of the country saw some scattered storms, especially through the Central Plains and South Texas. But the most noteworthy of those was going to be through Rapid City, as well as just north of Omaha, Nebraska. Got some gusty winds. But for Rapid City, we got severe winds as well as severe hail moving through the metro area. So got some noteworthy weather out there through South Dakota. And then jumping up into North Dakota through Fargo and Grand Forks, there was severe wind as well. And some scattered sub-severe hail to go around through the Fargo, Minnesota area for yesterday. Then into today, we're looking at another band of storms that's going to be following a cold front that's pushing through the nation this afternoon and evening. You can see those storms starting to form along through Iowa, through Nebraska, and they're going to backbuild their way into Colorado later today. But the bulk of activity is going to be through the Midwest, down through Chicago, and all the way as far south as Indianapolis this afternoon into this evening and the overnight hours. So if you guys are in Chicago, yes, the risk is for you. We're waiting for those clouds to kind of clear out. And as they move through, we could start to see some storms bubbling up here in the next couple of hours with that cold front through the area. Then back through the western part of the U.S., things are going to be much more scattered. It's going to be on the tail end of that frontal system. So we'll see what we can form through Kansas, but then through Colorado, we're also going to get some storms pushing off of the front range. A couple of those could go severe in terms of severe hail or wind as well. So here we are for our current temperatures for the country. I wish I had better news for half of us, sitting in the mid to upper 90s through the southern states already, and it's only noon Central Time right now. So super hot, super humid. We know the story. It's been like this for the past few days. Now, once we jump north of that cold front, we do get a little bit of relief due to that rain and that cool air, that's sinking in behind that. So 70 degrees in Denver, 83 in Minneapolis, 82 in Fort Wayne, and it should continue to get a little bit more pleasant as that continues to move through with those storm chances. Then in terms of dew points, or just our humidity for the nation, the closer these are to our actual temperatures, just the more humid and muggy it feels outside. So 68-degree dew points in Dallas, 65 in Wichita, anywhere where we see those deep greens and those mid-60s, it's just going to feel pretty unpleasant out. And then drying out a little bit once we hop again back behind that cold front. So 65-degree dew points in Minneapolis, 54 in Denver. So here's what we're looking like on our future radar for today. That heat, that humidity, that's all playing into our storm chances today. And we have plenty of convective available potential energy, that CAPE. any of that ahead of that cold front is going to help us spark some hail chances for this afternoon and evening. So with these storms, once they're popping up through Minnesota as well as Wisconsin in about 30 minutes or so here, we could start to see a scattered hail chance moving through. Those are going to continue off to the southeast, and as they go, we're going to see that storm coverage and intensity start to increase later this afternoon and evening. This is 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, starting to see multiple cells of storms heading into the Green Bay area as well as out of Duluth. And again, with those, we could see some gusty winds as well as severe hail. A possible rotating storm or two is not out of the question. So as those continue off to the east and towards the Great Lakes area, making a run at Green Bay by around 6 Central Time, making a run at Milwaukee at the same time. And again, we could get some scattered hailers out of that. Now, Chicago, if you guys are in that area, may notice things look like they you threaded the needle there. The more intense storms stayed to the north and the south. And now things are starting to back build through Indianapolis by around 1 a.m. and we could start to see some more severe coverage through the Ohio Valley in the overnight hours. So Chicago, with that storm system, can shift a little bit further south, could get some gusty winds as well as potential severe hail, but right now looks like you're going to stay right in between those severe chances for today. And so we're going to see mostly through Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then the Ohio Valley for our severe storms for today. Then off in Colorado, clear right now, not seeing a whole lot. We saw that on our current conditions, but by later this afternoon and evening, we could see, again, more hailers start to form through the area. It looks a lot different out in the mountains just because you guys are so elevated. So, you know, that cold air is really close to the ground and that helps that hail form. So any of these could produce some severe hail as well as gusty winds along that I-25 corridor through New Mexico and Colorado. So there we are by 4 p.m. Central. And then as things continue, we could see some scattered storms tracking over the Colorado Springs area and then also moving into Pueblo by later this evening. This is by 8 p.m. We've got some more storms rolling off the mountain and tracking through. So could see some severe winds as well as some severe hail later tonight with that storm system tracking through. So here's what that all looks like today on our hail forecast for you guys. So got you a scattered risk down in Colorado and New Mexico, as well as the bulk of our risk here through the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. So jumping right into city specifics, find your city here on the map, and we'll talk a little bit about your risks. So anywhere from Minneapolis to Chicago to Kansas City, those will be the most outskirt cities of the storm system. So, you guys are on the low end for that, but you could still see hail in the $quarter to $half sized range. Then for Green Bay, for Detroit, for Indianapolis, Grand Rapids, any of you guys do have a moderate chance of seeing severe hail with that more intense storm coverage. And we could get a couple of storms reaching up to maybe ping pong golf ball sized stones. Wouldn't even be surprised if we got maybe a 2-incher out there today, but it's going to be very scattered. So we do have a chance for larger hail. And again, Green Bay, Detroit, and Indianapolis, you guys probably have the best chance of seeing that tonight. Then down into Colorado, Pueblo, as well as the 25 corridor, you guys have the best shot of seeing severe hail as well, pushing off those mountains. So $quarters to $half possible for you guys. Will be scattered, so we're keeping you in the low end, but still could see $quarters to $half later today and this evening. Then for wind, going to extend that risk a little bit further out through Kansas City, but keeping Colorado in the risk as well for some gusty winds. So looking up for you guys in Minneapolis, Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City, once again, low-end chances for you guys to see severe activity tonight with those scattered storms. But through Green Bay, Detroit, Indianapolis, even Cleveland, you guys could see some possible damaging winds tonight. And again, not ruling out potential rotation in a couple of those initial cells that form later this afternoon. So definitely want to be on the lookout for those gusty winds later. And then down into Colorado and New Mexico, still a chance to see some gusty winds, but once again, it will be more scattered. So low end chance for you guys in Colorado Springs and Pueblo and anywhere along that 25 corridor, but not impossible to see some severe storms later today. Then into tomorrow, we're going to take that storm chance, we're going to shift it off into New England, but we will still see some scattered storms possible for Minnesota and Wisconsin once again, and Colorado once again. So we're going to cover all three of those areas for you here. If you guys, are in the upper Midwest or New England, it's kind of been back-to-back storm chances for y'all as that heat dome has really taken over the southern plains and we're getting all these storms riding up above it. So here we are by 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. This is again Central Time, but we got those isolated hailers forming up through the northern and rural parts of Wisconsin or of Minnesota, but we could see those start to produce some larger hail as it moves south and east. Now it's moving towards 35 over Duluth, and again we start to see that storm coverage increase, so more of a chance for some gusty winds as well as a lingering chance for hail as those storms sink southeastward towards Green Bay by 8 p.m. So Green Bay, you got a chance today, you got another one tomorrow. You're going to want to stay tuned to the weather for the next 48 hours here, and then as it sinks southeastward through the evening, should dissipate a little bit and should have some clearer skies and cool weather. So then hopping back down into Colorado, it's going to look like a lot of the same of what we saw today. Getting those storms rolling off the mountains, moving towards Colorado Springs once again, moving towards Pueblo, and along that 25 corridor once again. Now we will see things start to form up to the north, but it's going to stay right now just to the east of Denver, and it's not looking super intense quite yet. So we're waiting on this northern end of the system to see what that does, but for the south end, could see some scattered hail as well as some severe winds passing over the 25 corridor through Denver, Colorado Springs, and then making its way south and east into the Albuquerque, New Mexico area. Then off into New England, this is where, again, the bulk of our risk is going to be. This is that system from today that has tracked off eastward into tomorrow. So here it is by 11:30, starting to get those scattered storms forming up through northern New York. And then as we go through the afternoon, we're going to see more of a line start forming near Binghamton, near Albany, all the way up into New Hampshire and Vermont. Could see some scattered hail as well as some damaging winds. Tracking off to the east, making a run in Boston by 6 p.m. and then we once again start to see the tail end of that system spread southwestward through Kentucky, through Tennessee, and even down into the southeast. So we could start to see some scattered storm chances with any of those storms that linger through the Ohio Valley in the southeast tomorrow, and that's going to be through the overnight hours. So here you go. Here's our hail forecast for tomorrow. It's going to be pretty scattered. Looks kind of like a sideways smiley face, so that's something. So up through Minnesota and Wisconsin, got that low end chance with those scattered storms of seeing severe hail. May up the sizes into tomorrow if that supercell structure persists on our forecast models. But right now, low end chance for the scattered nature of that storm, but we could see quarters to $50 and maybe even larger, and we'll keep you updated on that tomorrow. Then off eastward into New England, I'm going to see again quarters to $50 possible anywhere through the area. Mostly going to be a wind risk since those storms do take more of a band form as they track off to the east, but still could see some hail chances coming out of that as well. So keeping all of you guys through Memphis, Nashville, through Roanoke, Charleston, and all the way up into Maine in the risk for some severe hail for tomorrow. Then off into Colorado, last but not least. Once again, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, all the way down into the northern end of New Mexico. You guys could see some quarters to $50 once again for tomorrow. So lots of the same areas for today and tomorrow, getting a severe weather chance. So that just means stay tuned to, your local weather for today and tomorrow, especially if you guys are in Minnesota, Wisconsin, or Colorado. But then again, for wind, Duluth, you guys do have a chance of seeing some damaging winds tomorrow as well as off into New England. The best chance for severe weather, particularly some gusty winds, is going to be all the way from Portland, Maine, down through Albany and into Philadelphia. That's where that band of storms starts tracking off the coast. It had its time to develop, and so we could see some nasty winds tracking through that area by tomorrow afternoon. And then Pittsburgh, Lexington, Kentucky, Charleston, West Virginia, all the way down into Memphis. You guys also do have a chance for some severe weather, but again, we talked about it a little bit. Those storms are going to be more scattered through the area. Then last but not least, going to see some possible gusty winds through Colorado into tomorrow, Pueblo. Got a good chance to see some of that with that band of storms that's going to track off the mountains and over I-25. So keeping an eye on you guys for tomorrow. Then just going to leave you guys with this. Most of us, I don't think this is a shock, most of us are in a pretty solid drought right now. Hot, dry conditions have been persistent across a lot of the South and a lot of the West. So we're going to talk a little bit about the drought as well as some tropical rain that could relieve some states in the Gulf right now. But most of the East is seeing, dry weather to a minimum drought. But then once we move into Oklahoma, through Texas, all the way through this eastern part of New Mexico and through the west, crazy dry, exceptional drought conditions right now. We really are crossing our fingers that a trough can move through and bring us some rain, some cooler weather, and relieve some of those drought conditions. So taking a look at that, here's our future jet stream right now. We got this little dip in the trough right now that's forming all those storms through the upper Midwest here. And as that tracks off to the east, it is going to sink down a little bit. And so there's tomorrow's risk. By 6 p.m., we're starting to see that trough push through the hot and muggy conditions we're seeing in New England. So that could get us some thunderstorms and rain as well. And then we've got another trough that's waiting behind it. But here's our heat dome, this big ridge here where we're seeing these dark reds over El Paso and Denver. That's just that high pressure, and it's stubborn, guys. It's staying in the same area, and it's not letting these troughs sink down and push through the south and central plains where we desperately need that rain. So here we are by 6 p.m. Wednesday, and it is holding strong, continuing to see those low pressure systems lift up and over it. And so we'll continue to see some storm chances for the northern plains with that, but as it goes, really not helping us out in the south and through the west. So there we are by 6 p.m. Friday. The only real chance for some relief from that drought is going to be this tropical system that we have right now. 0% chance of forming in the next 2 days. It's not looking super organized quite yet. Could form something in the next 5 days, but that's only if it stays in the Gulf and doesn't really move fully over land here. So we're watching it, not really super promising in terms of forming a tropical storm or a hurricane, and we'll keep you updated, of course. But right now, the best chance, or the best thing that this is going to do for us through the southern Gulf is going to help us out with those drought conditions. So here's our rainfall forecast for you guys with that system as it tracks over you. New Orleans by Wednesday morning could get almost 1.3 inches of rain. Baton Rouge got almost 1 inch. Same with Gulfport and Mobile. And then down into Morgan City, that's going to be more of the low-lying area through Louisiana there. Could get a little bit more rain there, 3 inches possible in Morgan City, but you know, close to 1 inch or above for a lot of us along the Gulf Coast. So, you know, could see some relief from that drought, relief from that heat with that system as it passes through. So we're going to keep you updated on it all as always. If you guys want to follow us, you can get us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit see first on Facebook so you never miss a live video, and smash that subscribe button on YouTube as well. We're at Hail Trace on everything. You can also follow us on TikTok. We've got some TikTok viewers watching us right now. We're actually live on there as well. So, you know, catch us on TikTok to see some of our storm chasing videos as well as other live content that we try to do. Then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us if you'd rather at info@hailtrace.com, or check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details on who we are and what we do. And we'll keep you updated and advised on your severe chances as always. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.